everybody. Welcome to the Bold Women's Podcast.
Bold Women's.
Bold Women's. Bold Women. Add that to your list for today. Guys, today's episode, you are going to be cracking yourself up at.
Or you're really going to not like me by the end of
One
this
of the
episode.
two.
One of the two things is going to happen.
We are in our, drum roll please,
Ding dong.
ding dong,
I don't know.
season catch up. And today we have a very hilarious topic. But before that, follow us on social media.
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Maria Weiler, and I'm here with Meryl Wilson.
Yeah, hi.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Thanks for still hanging around with us.
We haven't done a season catch up in forever.
We haven't.
I'm kind of excited.
I am too. And our topic today,
This is either gonna. You guys are either. I'm in the hot seat. We're just
Meryl's in
gonna
the
say
hot
that.
seat.
So you're either gonna find this like wildly embarrassing, maybe funny, probably funny,
I am already laughing at some of what you've told me.
or you're gonna find me an incredibly obnoxious person, in which I would agree with you.
You're like, my name's Anyways, follow us on social media.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you guys, and we would love to hear your opinions about this episode too. I would love to hear
wait.
your opinions about this episode. Meryl, what are we talking about today?
We're gonna talk about things that annoy me.
Okay, this was just a few days ago. Meryl was like, my list is at 31. And what are we at right now?
42.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it kind of started as like a pet peeve joke. And then we're like, oh man, you've got a lot. And we're like, oh,
we should just
discuss those. So here we are. Why don't you start us off, Wilson?
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this. It's not exhaustive. So
There could be more.
there could always be more, or these could change, but
Yeah.
these are some pretty solid ones. But yeah, basically we were having a conversation and I think I said something that I was like, that's annoying or something. And then you or Chelsea, I think, said something like, what doesn't
annoy you?
I was like, you know what? You got me there.
Wow. Caught me.
I could very well, maybe that's the reason for the RBF is like, I've
That's
got all
true.
these things swirling around in my mind. Just keeping
Annoying.
a very stoic
Could
look
be.
on my face all the
Could
time.
be.
I don't know. Who's to say?
Let's go through this list.
All right, let's get it started.
Number 1. What was
Yeah.
the first thing when thinking about, oh my gosh, what annoys me? First one that popped in your head.
Chomping food / mouth noises.
Like that?
Don't do that. You're
I'm
gonna make me want to
sorry.
take my dang headphones
I'm
off.
sorry. I'm sorry. It
You've
was
gotta
just right there.
Okay.
I have to refrain.
If I'm going to go through this
This is
list,
true.
you have got to try and restrain yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to have a bad time.
Okay.
And I don't want to. I don't want to get in a bad mood.
I don't want this to be a bad time for
I don't
you.
want this to turn. I don't want this to take a turn.
All right. I will do my best to refrain.
Yeah.
And if I cannot, I will take my headset off and I will leave the room for a moment.
Or just scoot away.
I can scoot away. I'll roll my chair back. Onward.
Driving slowly in the left lane.
Irks me. Get in the right lane. You
Yeah.
can drive slow there. No one's mad about that. But don't.
There is a disease that inflicts Midwestern drivers.
That's a great point.
And for some reason, there's a big percentage of them that really enjoy to drive right at the speed limit or under the speed limit in the passing lane.
Yeah. It's a passing lane for a reason. It's made so you pass people.
Yeah. And then what's even more annoying is when they see that you're trying to get around them and then they speed up so that you can't. So they're just being jerks for literally no reason.
No
It's
reason
like,
at all.
listen here, bucko, I don't know why you're having a bad day, but I'm just trying to get going. All right.
Meryl's like, you about to make my day bad. Don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
Also, okay.
I concur with that one.
Before I go further, I also need to discuss, like I did say this before we recorded, that some of these things I find annoying, but you, dear listener, may find and accuse me of being judgmental.
Mm.
And let me just say, I am okay with that. All right? All right. Just so we got that clear. Like, I understand how I come off. All right? I know. Bear with me here.
Okay.
All right? This next one.
It's the smirks that you guys can't see before she reads them that's setting me off.
Walking duck-footed.
What if people can't help it? Like, what if their bones are shaped different? Okay, go ahead.
Not my problem. But by and large, listen to this. Okay, there's reasoning behind it.
Okay.
There, if you haven't noticed, there is a huge issue with obesity running rampant in our country.
Yes.
And a lot of people adapt their walking to turn their feet outward
For that support.
because I learned this somewhere. What was I reading? I don't remember. I like to read. I don't think this was a study, but I think this was some medical journal or something. I like to read those sometimes. But if your feet are turned out, you're using less of your leg muscle.
Really?
And so therefore it's more comfortable for somebody to walk who is like severely overweight. And that's a way to compensate.
Okay.
And so then I think, and this,
I think you clarified.
I think
right
about
before
this,
that one.
I think about this in the sense of like, if I'm looking at a guy I want to date, if I see him walking like that, I'm like, absolutely not. Immediately no. Immediately no. Because I'm like, if you're walking like that and you're in good shape, then you're just being lazy with the way that you're walking. And if you can't even walk correctly, like, what else are you lazy at?
Does your boyfriend walk that way?
He does not.
Winning.
He does not.
Good job.
He laughed really hard when I told him that. I was like, no, I'm serious. I was like watching the way he walked to make sure.
What if he, next time you see him, like just starts walking that way just to irk you?
He wouldn't do that, I don't think. I hope not. But maybe I'll point it out and he'll be like,
like this?
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, moving on.
Okay.
This one is clearly on the list, as you know. Improper or inappropriate, and by inappropriate, I mean just like you're not using it correctly. Spelling or grammar.
Oh, that's, if you guys have listened to this show for a while.
Yeah, you hear me correct Maria all the time.
She corrects me all the time.
And I hate it because I'm so glad that she's a good sport and just takes it in stride, because I don't like, it's almost reflexive for me to just like say something. I don't even.
It literally
give
happened
two
to me
thoughts.
last night. Yes, too. I said something.
I don't even give it two thoughts.
Yeah, my friend was with me and he had said something and I was like, "Oh, oops, did I say that wrong?" And I was like, I think I was like, "You and Meryl would get along great."
Yeah. So you know, the use of your and your.
Yeah.
You know, those are common. There, and there. Those are very common ones that people get upset about, which I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
what about whom?
Yes, that's important. It is important.
I think maybe we could have a lesson on whom, because that one always kind of trips me up. Not to put you on the spot right now, but like just sometime on our podcast, if we could have a lesson on that.
Well, it's usually like if there's a preposition before it, I want to say.
That's a big word too. What's a preposition mean?
Okay, I'm going to have to Google it now.
Well, it's like, I know.
Okay, so, and a lot of you are probably thinking, why does she have to look it up? And it's like, no, I literally like learned all of these things and then internalized them as a child.
So it's like she knows just when it's wrong.
And yeah, exactly.
Like
I don't know why something is wrong. And then
it just is.
It just is. And then usually when I look it up, I'm correct.
That's accurate, because you have looked up things multiple times with us listening, and it has been accurate when you've looked at it.
Yeah. Okay. The most simplest way to explain it is if you can replace it with him, her, then use whom.
Oh, okay.
See example below. Alan was playing the guitar. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see here.
With whom?
the pronoun who is always subjective. So, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So you use who wherever you would use subjective pronouns like I, he, she, we, or they. It is correct to say who wants to go because we would say I want to go or we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
The pronoun whom is always an object. So use whom wherever you would use the objective pronouns me, him, her, us, or them. It's not correct to say who did you choose. We would say whom because you would choose me or them.
Okay.
If
That actually does make sense.
Handy memory aid. Use this they or them method to decide whether who or whom is correct. They equals who, them equals whom. So example, who or whom wrote the letter? Well, they wrote the letter, so therefore who is correct.
Okay. Because them would have been.
Yeah, if you're saying who or whom should I vote for, the question is really asking, should I vote for them? Therefore, whom is correct.
Okay. That makes sense.
I always think of okay, let me see what I was thinking of. Oh,
Okay.
whom after a preposition. Therefore, it is the person to, about, for whom the action is being done. Whom is also the correct choice after a preposition. With whom, one of whom. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. See?
You're right. Wow.
Yeah, so there's a little lesson.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, these two are, I was going to put them on the same line, but they're two separate events.
Go on.
People that clap when the plane lands.
Oh.
If you've ever been on a plane where somebody just starts clapping.
I have been on the plane.
Landed. It's like, you know what? We all know this is a stressful event and something weird could happen, but we're all trying to just ignore that. We don't need you causing a hoopla when we hit the ground, okay? We just don't need it.
Even after a rough flight?
Even after a rough flight. I'm usually just traumatized. Like, just
Meryl's like, get me
out
off
of
this
here.
plane.
Oh, there's another thing on a plane. People in the far back row standing up and trying to bolt to the front before just everyone filling the dang aisle.
Yeah, that drives me up a wall. Stay sitting down until your row gets there.
We're not even to the gate. And like we've barely hit the ground and people are standing up. And you're like, what are you in a rush for? Because nobody's getting off here.
We're going to be here a minute.
Yeah. Especially you in the back in aisle 58. All right.
Bucko.
Yeah. So that makes it 43 because that was just a bonus.
Just on there. Boom. Okay. Onward.
We may have more come out of this. Okay. Oh, and then the clapping. People that clap at the end of a movie.
Oh, I've been a cheer. I've been that person before.
Really?
But not every movie though. It's been like,
I mean, no judgment, and it doesn't really like annoy me.
But like, don't do it by you.
But I'm like, why? What is the whole point?
I think maybe they're just so emotionally invested in the movie.
Yeah, but it's like, you paid money to go see it. The producer's not here. The actors are not here. Nobody that made the movie is here.
And people are just hyped. Hyped together.
It's just, I don't.
Like, it's more so like we're fans cheering this on. Like, that was epic. I think Hunger Games is ones that like I clapped in.
All right. Well,
big Hunger Games fan.
Cigarette or weed smoke?
Byron.
Yeah. That annoys me. Weed smoke especially because people don't really like smoke cigarettes too much anymore unless they're like outside in open air because they're like civilized at least. And they know that people don't appreciate the smell of their cigarette smoke, so they're like outside open air away from people usually.
Yeah.
There are the jerks that are in like crowded spaces and
they
smoke
don't
their
care.
cigarettes. They don't give two figs. But
I used to have an old neighbor, and it would always come through the dryer vent anytime I'd run the dryer. So I would do my clothes, and then I would take my clothes out of the dryer, and then it would still smell like I didn't wash my clothes. And I was always just like,
yuck.
God. But that was right before he left that apartment, so it was fine. It didn't last long.
There are some people that work out at the gym that I work out at, and they definitely wake and bake.
From the get-go?
Yeah, because they come in, and it's like they come in with a giant cloud. And it's like if you're within a 6-foot radius of this person, you're
You
just
can
inhaling the smell of marijuana on them. And I, for one, cannot stand that smell.
Yeah.
It's so gross to me. And this is coming from somebody who used to smoke a lot of weed, okay? Like I used to smoke a lot of weed. But it's like when you're doing it, you don't smell it. But if you're not doing it, it's just like somebody who smokes cigarettes. Like when I've also spent time smoking cigarettes,
Right.
I couldn't smell it on me as bad as like when I quit. And then when I smelled it on other people, I was like, that is horrific. I can't believe I used to smell like that.
Yeah.
And same thing goes with marijuana. You're not slick. Right. Even if you drown yourself in cologne, it's like now cologne mixed with marijuana, just cloud.
Like, it's a very distinct smell.
And it's just gross. So I work out when the gym opens at 5 a.m. So when I'm like assaulted with that smell while I'm trying to get my freaking workout on and just get my morning going, it is just offensive. It's incredibly offensive. So, all right.
Next.
There's that one.
My favorite is just these. I haven't seen this list, so I like as she's going.
She doesn't. I haven't told anyone this list. I read one off earlier.
Okay, yeah.
Stabbing sushi with chopsticks instead of properly using them.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know someone who does this.
Oh.
And it's like
offensive.
The fish is already dead. All right. It's so aggressive when I see it happen. And then he like laughs, thinks that he's really funny.
And you're like, it's not funny to me.
That's not funny. You look stupid. You have no etiquette. You grew up in a barn, I think. My parents used to say that, by the way, when I used improper manners. They'd be like, would you grow up in a barn?
Like, well, maybe.
Were you raised in a barn? I'm like, well,
kind of.
If you call your house a barn, then maybe.
Possibly.
Because I grew up here. So. But
like, that's up to you guys.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times. Someone doing that. And it wasn't just this person, but this guy I've seen him do it more often than I've seen other people do it. And it's just so okay. I'm going to risk sounding judgy and I don't care. It's classless also to like just not know how to do it or to like take the consideration to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
It's easy with practice.
How do you feel about people using their fingers to do it if they don't know how to use chopsticks?
If they just pick up a roll and eat it. That I would rather you do that
than stab it with the
or, even take a fork and like gently don't freaking murder the middle of it with and all the stuff's falling off and everything. Yeah. It's like you just totally destroyed somebody's artwork and food.
That's true.
So anyway, that one.
That one? Okay.
Picking teeth in public.
Oh.
Yeah. Somebody in a restaurant just, going to town with their finger on their teeth or something.
You could run to the restroom and grab
You can go to the bathroom and you bring a little floss or whatever.
Yeah.
I've done that before one time. And somebody actually said something to me about it. But it was like we left a coffee shop and I just pulled out a little flosser.
Got it.
Got
the bad boy.
Put it away. Because I had eaten an apple earlier or something. And it was
lodged.
Yeah. And it was really bothering me. And so I was just like, whatever. But I was getting ready to go on a walk after I left this coffee shop.
Do you think it matters who you're with? Like if doing that, or do you feel like it's just consideration for everybody around you? Whether you know them.
I think it matters who you're with, but I definitely wouldn't be in a nice restaurant and be picking at my teeth at my table.
Yeah.
I've seen
100%.
I've seen people do that and it just is wild.
Are you going to say classless too for that one?
Also classless. Okay. Gee, people. Passive aggressive behavior.
You're staring at me?
I have more patience. I have more patience with people that I know and love because it's oftentimes the people pleasers that will participate.
And do you know that they're trying not to be that way?
And they're trying not to be that way, but guess what? You're perpetuating it because you won't just be direct.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid of offending somebody. So by being passive, it's also like,
Yeah.
go
ahead. No, go on. Go on.
A lot of people know. A lot of people know that I have like that. That is something that is like that permeates my family. Like a lot of people in my family participate. I definitely participated in that too, of passive aggressive behavior. And I don't know, something happened at some point, and I literally just like snapped, and I was like,
I don't care.
ah! You've got to just say what you mean. Mean what you say. If you offend someone, okay, you offend somebody, but like you can work through that, but just be direct. Like what's going to happen? Someone's going to get upset. Okay, you can't control somebody's feelings by being passive or indirect.
But I think people like to feel like that they can.
Yeah.
Or control the situation.
It is a control.
Yep, it's a control thing.
It's a control thing.
Yep.
But it is funny because I do have, I mean, like I've said, I have more patience for people that like are dear to me. And I have a friend who she sometimes will make a comment, and then I go, so do you want me to do XYZ? I will make a reservation for this space. And she'll be like, really? I'm like, yes, I will just go ahead and do that. And hers that's not passive aggressive, but it's
the passive side.
It's passive. Yeah, it's definitely more passive. But I'm like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that. And so she's like, oh, okay.
Great, thank you. That's what I wanted you to do the whole time.
Yeah. Number 11, this is my favorite, myself. You can't tell me how annoying I am or obnoxious, as I said a little bit earlier. It's like, I understand and I acknowledge.
You're like, I am.
How I know.
I am.
I know how I can be. And trust me when I tell you that I annoy myself more than anybody could possibly think that I am annoying.
Right.
We are all our own worst enemies.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think you're annoying.
I get very annoyed.
I get annoyed with myself though too. Where I'm like,
irritated with myself almost daily.
Yeah,
because I just do something stupid. I mean, it can be as little as like me tripping over something, and I'm like, gosh, what the heck, Wilson? What is wrong with you? Did you not see? Did you not see that there? Or I mean, I just really, I'm very annoying.
I love it.
Yeah. And sometimes sometimes I know when I'm being like even more annoying.
And that's when it irks you even more, because you're just like, I want to stop, but I can't.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one is a little judgy.
Okay.
Improperly worn shoes. And what I mean by that,
Byron looks at his feet right now.
And what I mean by that is I was having a flashback to college, okay?
Okay.
Where like the inner heels of your shoes are like worn down, but then you have like regular tread for the rest of your shoe.
Like the shoe itself.
So you're heavily like leaning on the insides of your heels.
I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And poor thing. No wonder why people have so many back problems and stuff. It's because they're not paying attention to like
their shoes,
to their gait and the type of shoe that they're wearing. This was very common in the early 2000s, like early 2010s, where I was all over campus, and the school uniform at Drake University was black leggings, a North Face jacket, and Uggs. And every single girl, her Uggs looked awful. I'm telling you right now, I have two pairs of Uggs, both of which were common styles that I saw girls wearing, and they were absolutely just destroying the inner heels of them, and it looked so stupid, and they were so dirty. No, because I know how to walk correctly, apparently. Like, do you people not know how to take care of your shoes?
Probably not.
I think that's the next one. Yeah, the next one. We'll just carry on. Dirty white Air Forces or other nice white sneakers that should be clean.
Yeah.
You have an all white sneaker, you should be keeping that clean.
Yeah, I agree.
It is not, Gen Z, you better hear me.
Good.
It is not trendy or cool to ruin a nice pair of white sneakers like Air Force Ones or something nice like that. Okay, because Air Force Ones are over $100 to pay for those. So why would you want to trash those shoes and think that it looks cool for them to be dirty?
I literally saw this thing on Instagram. I don't remember who it was, but this lady, she buys 3 pairs of Forces every month. She has an indoor pair, an outdoor pair, and an emergency pair that if she needs a brand new fresh white pair, and then she donates them at the end of every month. I don't know what she does, but she goes, yeah, every month I buy 3 pairs to start the month off.
She makes too much money is what she does.
I was like, sheesh, can you pay off the rest of my student loans?
That's ridiculous because you can also just take like a freaking magic eraser to it.
Magic erasers are great on shoes.
Yeah. So yeah, that is, I think also we can just wrap it up in a general people who don't take care of their shoes.
Yeah, no, that does kind of.
And then just like wear them out. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? What's going on?
I think it's very different too of if you don't have anything and that's like
you look
the
like
only
you've been
pair.
playing rugby in those heels. Like, what are you doing?
Or I think too, like if say you can tell when, I feel like typically you can tell when somebody doesn't have a lot and like that's what they have. But it's very different if you know that they don't.
Yes, we're not talking.
We're not
about
talking
people
about that.
Don't
We're
have a
talking
lot.
about like you just don't.
With a blatant disregard.
Yeah.
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 Because people that don't have a lot or might not have like as nice things, they're not out buying like Uggs or Air Forces or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just buying like
Tennis shoes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm talking to the people that can afford it.
Clean your shoes.
Clean your dang shoes and quit frickin' walking like that. I sound like an old lady.
You do. You sound like the old
Get
man.
off
Get off
my
my
dick.
lawn.
Get off my porch. Okay. I can't believe I'm recording this. This is too funny. Anyone messing with my laundry?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many issues with people drying items that shouldn't be dried and then hanging up items that should be dried.
Okay.
Can't stand it.
Okay.
I learned at a very young age. I don't even know how old I was. I know it was probably maybe the age of 10-ish. And maybe that's like an OCD thing. I think there's a little bit of OCD stuff mixed in here. I've not been formally diagnosed, but I do have a family member that was diagnosed with it. And so I think I have.
I think I have some strings of it.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
I have tendencies for sure.
100%.
So, yeah, I learned from a very young age to do my own laundry because I was so sick. And my mom, being nice, being the great lady that she was, I'd be like, don't hang dry my t-shirt, because you take your t-shirt off and it's like bent and stiff.
Yeah.
And also wrinkly. So what am I supposed to do with that? Now I gotta wash it all over again because I can't use this. That was totally my mentality. And like, so I'm like, don't touch my laundry. Just don't.
You're just going to do it.
Just don't. I'll just do it. I'll just do it because I know what needs to be dried and I know what needs to be hung up.
And I know how I want it.
Yeah.
You're a girl who knows what she wants.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, moving on. We gotta. Oh, all right. Speed bumps,
Okay.
completely unnecessary.
What about in parking lots?
Oh, that's the worst.
Okay.
I'm trying to
just
get
checking.
somewhere, and
But-
you got to try. They're meant for people like me.
Who are they meant for? I
Me.
move. I'm trying to get out of here.
They are meant for me. They are meant for people like me. But you know what? I freaking hate them. And I tried to. Did I put this down? Did I put this down similar? Let me just look at my list here really
Oh, if
quick.
you have something similar to it?
Okay, I have more traffic things involved. Okay. Leaving trash in the car.
Oh, that irks me so much.
I have a pretty clean car, and I hate it when people
know.
like. My boyfriend actually not too long ago, what did he do? He opened something, and then was it gum or something like that, or he was like unwrapping a package of gum, and then I saw him put the wrappers like in the door handle.
Did you?
And I was like, "You're gonna take that out, aren't you?" And he was like, he looked at me like, "What?" And I was like,
we take trash out of our cars.
I mean, and I was like, well, that came out really harsh because I was like, he just
She's like
looked,
just shocked.
he just like paused and like stared at me for a second. I was like,
Yes?
yeah, but we're in the car.
Like, where else am I going to put it right now?
Throw it out.
Oh, that always drives me. It's like people get fast food. I'm like, always just like, and they eat it. Like if you're driving someplace and they throw it, I'm like, you literally have a bag with you. Take the bag.
Yeah.
You can put your trash in the bag and leave with it and throw it away.
Yeah. Yeah. My sister told me this one, incompetence. She's like, you seem to have a very short fuse for people who are incompetent.
Oh,
and I was like, well,
checks out.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know
like,
how.
Sign up to be my friend.
I don't know. I don't know how to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. I think you're good on just leaving that one.
The next one, cats.
Ooh,
sorry,
she's allergic. So
I'm also allergic, but I also just don't like them because their personalities are annoying. Because they just, I don't know. Anyway, and then after that, I have rude dogs. I love dogs, but I don't like rude dogs.
Mm.
And by that, I mean like jumpers and lickers.
Mm.
And these are dogs who do both of those things with like reckless abandon that their owner has absolutely no control over them whatsoever.
And they don't care. Or they just say
don't
their
care,
name.
don't listen.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Or how, does that kind of irk you too? When like say you're at the dog park and somebody's doing something and the owner just yells those dogs' names, but they don't like come get their dog.
Yes.
Like that kind of bothers me.
Yes.
Like, just get your dog if they're doing something.
Just go get your dang dog. Keep it on a leash. Don't bring it to the park. How about that?
Yeah.
Because you clearly don't know how to handle it. Why are you bringing them here and inconveniencing everybody else? Okay. Moving on. Commercials.
Oh.
I don't need to say anything there.
No, I
They're
think
the most
everybody's
obnoxious thing I've ever done.
Everybody agrees on that.
And I will always pay extra for any type of streaming service,
Without the
Spotify, any
commercials.
of my, so that I don't have to deal with
I get
commercials.
that.
Standing in line just generally annoys me.
Patience, maybe?
Uh,
Or we have some trouble with
I do.
So far, I'm sensing the overarching theme is patience.
I struggle with it. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I know that about myself. People recording themselves crying and then posting it on social media.
Oh.
I really can't handle that. I don't like, and it's not in a mean way. It's just I have never the level of what's the word for it?
Like audacity? Is that what you're looking for?
I don't know, but why do people think that other people want to see them crying?
Maybe it's just emotion.
In their struggle.
I will say
it's such a, as the youngsters say, it's such a pick me behavior.
Is that a thing now people are saying?
Like pick me.
Oh, yeah,
look
yeah,
at me,
I
look at
see what
me. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't know. It's very strange to me. Like I get really weirded out by it. Actually, I find it very disturbing when people do that. Maybe it disturbs me more than annoys me. And I'm like, why are you doing that? First of all, when anyone's crying, it's never pretty. Why are you taking like your most ugly self and then posting that all over social media for literally anyone to see? Why are you doing that?
What happens on your wedding day if you cry and it gets posted on social media?
I'm going to have to pay my photographer a lot of money to not post those.
I'm just throwing out that, not to have that like loom over you, but just a thought.
Better watch yourself, Tyler. You better watch yourself. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna confiscate your phone at the start.
The start of the day. You see me like randomly in a corner, like, get the phone out of her hands.
Then I have like women who don't respect themselves. In particular, women in our generation and younger who just don't seem to care that they don't seem to care about like having a high body count or just being trashy and being however they want and then trying to thinly veil it with women empowerment or this is my sexual freedom era or whatever they want to call it. Like that is really irritating to me because it's so just like, ugh, you're cringy. That's all I'm going to say.
Your terminology is very young right now.
Thank you. boyfriend that's younger than me, and he keeps me hip to all the lingo. Okay. Weak and cowardly men. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what else I need to say about that.
I don't think you need to say anything else.
Nothing more off-putting than that. Oh, here's one. Really long fake nails.
Oh, like overly long?
Yeah, like 2 inches out from your finger. Like,
yeah.
I don't understand that. It's not practical. It doesn't make sense for anyone. And you just spent
Meryl's a very practical person, if you guys haven't been able to tell.
And you just spent how much money on that for what? For it to break? For your little bedazzled rhinestone. Sorry, guys,
I'm drinking water and I'm trying not to like laugh as Maryl like elaborates. Oh my gosh.
Not to mention all the like tapping and stuff. Like you can't even like properly like text or whatever. I don't know.
This reminds me of one of my coworkers. I had my nails done. I really do like if I have my nails done.
Itch, and you also can't properly itch anything.
I really like the whatever they come to, like the point. They're not coffin nails, but I forget what they're called. But anyways,
is it the what?
I forget what it's called.
Like the Catwoman nails or something.
No,
the cat claws.
They're like almond shaped, basically.
Well, yeah, but those are kind of rounded.
Anyways,
hold on.
I remember one of my coworkers. She was like, "Hey, did you get your nails off? Because your typing's a lot more clear." And I was like, in our team's chat, and I was like, "Yeah, I can." Like she could tell when my nails came off. It was funny.
Top most popular.
Yeah, they like look like an almond shape.
Square almond. You mean stiletto? That's what you mean. Because almond is rounded and stiletto.
Yeah, I like the stiletto ones. The look Meryl's giving me right now.
I don't like those. You guys, I'm a rounded or a square gal because I have short nails and I just get them gel.
But I like you. I don't like them overly long. I like them maybe like that.
That's not overly long. Yeah, I mean that's reasonable.
Byron, like this.
Yeah, that's like that. That's like the.
Yeah, I like them more like maybe just a smidge above your finger.
Yeah, if you got freaking fake nails hanging out an inch or two past your fingertips, what's going on? What are we doing?
Like what?
How are we living here? Okay.
Next.
Said my piece on that. The color red.
Meryl hates red.
Yeah, it stresses me out. It's a stressful color. I actually saw a reel the other day where it was like somebody was redoing their home and they thought that they were.
Byron's looking at all the red lights in here.
The red lighting is, it's mixed with other stuff, so it's not like.
It's not overly.
Yeah. Whatever.
And technically, the lights are kind of behind you, so you're looking more this way where you're not seeing them. Where like I see 3-4 red lights right now.
Yeah. But there was a reel where it was like the living room and kitchen were kind of like opened up to each other or whatever, and they remodeled it and like the little wording across the screen was just like, oh, basically they were just saying like we kept the old school like cabinetry and they basically just changed like the hardware on it or whatever, but the wall behind it for the kitchen and the living room just sprawling across was red. And then it changed to like white and it actually made the cabinets look really nice or whatever because it was just this old like brown.
Yeah.
They were probably like some oak cabinets or whatever. I actually commented and it was like nothing more stressful than a red wall because I can't.
Did anybody say anything back to you on it?
I got some likes on it.
Did you? Well, there you go. Yeah. You're not the only one.
I know.
You're not alone.
I know, not alone there. Oh, the strange pronunciation of R or S. The letter R or the letter S.
Okay. What if somebody has a speech impediment?
No, these are intentional.
Okay.
So it is, I think it's for, I don't know why. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but my only logical conclusion that I can come to when I hear people talk like this is that they must think that they sound smarter or something. But it's like, I'm going to record that in my records. And you're like, what? Or Or somebody who pronounces their S's like so.
Or the extra
I'm
long.
going, or it's just like it's just a higher pitch, and they're just like so.
Meryl's like, so what?
I'm like, what? Why are you doing it like that?
Okay.
Why are you making the effort to just sound weird?
Noted.
Yeah. I'm going to Rhode Island. I don't, not rolling. It's not rolling. It's like a strange, the way that I think of it in my head is like they're trying to curve the R too much.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense. I
It's
feel like I
not
should be
even a
taking
roll.
notes. As a friend, I should be making notes on this.
It's not a roll because rolling an R is great and it's cool. But
It's
like
like bending the R. It's not rolling the R.
yeah. Bending it too much. And the S. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like
Byron just goes.
and it's not even that. It's just, I don't know. It's like a particularly sharper sound of an S.
No, I get what you're saying because that's and it's especially when it's at the end of a word too.
I'm not doing great examples because I'm not somebody that, spends a ton of time trying, but you know who I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
People
about.
that do that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bend the R, not roll it. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Cash that isn't faced.
Oh, yep, that
Mhm.
drives me up a wall too.
Yeah, it's got to be faced, and then I usually start with like low bills first. And
Yeah, that's what I do too,
the
and then
higher
it goes
bills are on
higher.
the bottom.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it is those maybe that's our tendencies showing.
I don't know. People that don't clean up after their dogs in public.
Oh, yes.
That actually doesn't annoy me. It enrages me.
And I think you can tell if your dog is explosive. You get it. You can't get that.
We're not talking about that.
We're
just
talking about
the everyday.
general number 2.
Yeah.
Pick it up, please. And when it's right beside the dog bins, that's what even more so, where I'm like, you are 2 feet away from a bag.
Dog crap spreads disease. Okay. Can we not? Spreads disease. It's disgusting. Okay. Leave it at that. Man, can't believe we're going this long. I'm not even done.
Where are you at?
Number 30.
Okay.
Okay. Here's another traffic one. Slowing down when approaching a green light.
Oh.
Have you ever been behind somebody who like brakes, slows down
Yeah. No, that's like you gotta
as
keep,
they
you're gonna
get
cause
to,
an accident.
as they get up to an intersection? Yes.
You're gonna cause an accident.
Yeah. What are you doing? Green means go. Why are we slowing down?
Okay.
The entire concept of Social Security.
Oh. Is it because
It's my one government thing that I will. There's a lot of government things that bother me, but this one I'm willing to talk about.
okay. Is it because you feel like it's not going to be there for you when you need it?
I don't feel, I know
Yeah.
it's not going to be there. First of all, it's not going to be there.
Yeah.
But second of all, I have always thought since I learned about what Social Security is, I'm like, why weren't okay, everyone is assigned a Social Security number.
Right.
Yes, in this country.
Yep.
If you are here legally, you've got a Social Security number. Because, of course, they want your tax dollars. But it's like that Social Security number should be tied to an individual account for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Go on.
A portion of that can go to things like federal highways, federal stuff like infrastructure. Okay. But we all know that it's not going to that anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's why everything's so dire with Social Security. And why they're basically saying that you and I will never see
An ounce of what we put
an
in.
ounce of what I've been spending my entire working life paying towards. And for what? The roads still suck. The airports are a disaster. The airlines are horribly okay. I need to stop. But I've always thought, why, if the purpose of if the bulk of Social Security is to ensure, well, because it was never set up for people to use as like, hey, this is like a secondary retirement account for me. But if that was the intention, or if that was what they were going to, first of all, like, how did you not have the foresight to see that that could be something that would be beneficial to people, is to have it set up that way. So that even people who don't qualify for 401ks or anything like that, like,
Can still set
can still have something.
Yeah.
But like, that makes more sense to me, so that all the money that I paid into Social Security is my money. I'm not taking it from anybody else. It's just everything I've earned that's sitting there waiting for me as I'm old, old enough to retire and whatever.
And take from it.
Okay. And then when you start taking from it, the government gets a cut of it and you call it a day. I don't even want to do that, but that's me being polite.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The look on her face right now as she looked at her phone to go to the next topic. Onward.
Yeah. I have this down here twice, but they're kind of different. Okay. One of them is uneven things.
Oh, yeah.
And then I put in parentheses, roads in particular. There is nothing more annoying than trying to just peacefully drive down the road. You're taking a curve, and then all of a sudden you hit a freaking pothole or something. Or it's the series of like, they're not quite potholes, but they're like, it was just a poorly laid road, poorly paved road. And so therefore you're just like bouncing over these like divots or whatever.
How do you feel about like the rumble strips on the side?
Rumble strips are controlled and they don't jostle your entire body back and forth.
Okay.
Being over these bumps, very annoying, because it literally, if it makes my body sway from side to side at all.
If it makes my body lean with it, rock with it, I don't.
If I'm not trying to lean with it, rock with it on my own,
I don't want to lean with it or rock with it.
Lean or rock with it. So. All I gotta say, but I'll touch on the uneven surfaces. So the uneven surfaces can be, well, I guess the roads are the uneven surfaces, but I think uneven things. I think of uneven things and uneven surfaces. Uneven surfaces are the roads, and then the uneven things, that could be unevenly like numbered things, uneven, oh my gosh, when I was younger, and I still try not to do this, but it's definitely a bad habit. Like, I used to bite my nails because it was like a nail would chip and then I would bite it so that it would be like even, and then I would just make everything worse, right?
Same. I do that. I do that now. So it's not a habit I don't even.
Blemish on my face. I pick it because it's uneven. It feels uneven because it's elevated on the surface of my skin. And so I just want to like pick at it so that it just makes it even. But then I'm stupid enough to be like, Meryl, you keep digging at that, it's going to be a scar. Then you're going to have a hole there and then it'll be a permanent uneven space. Right. So
it's hard.
What are you doing?
It's hard.
Yeah.
Can I add to the uneven surfaces?
Yeah.
Surfaces or objects that have lots of holes in it, or clusters.
We've talked about this before. I know, but that is a phobia. That's not a.
Well, I'm putting it on there. Like, it irks, like cringes.
That's more of a fear.
Okay,
that's
go
more
ahead.
Of a phobia.
Anyways,
and that really.
I know I'm cringing right now.
Okay, I think of uneven things. I also I will pick at my split ends because
you do pick at your split ends.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
because that really bothers me that they're there.
Yeah,
that they exist.
Then they shouldn't be there.
Yep.
Byron's just chuckling to himself over here. This is gonna be another one that Byron's like, I need to go take a nap.
Okay, where's the other thing? The no turn on red signs.
Oh, okay. I don't get those.
If you are not from the United States, you may not be familiar, because I learned this several years ago from a friend from England who was like, one of the most brilliant things that I think the Americans have done in terms of like how you have set up your roads and things like that. He was like, a right on red. That is the most amazing thing ever, and it makes traffic just all the more efficient.
Flow of traffic.
It's like, it's like Frogger. We've been raised playing Frogger, so we know what to do. And to see a no turn on red sign really just angers me, because you'll sit there and no one will be coming and you're like,
and you can't do anything. I have gone when it's been
I
that way.
have too, but then, I look around for cameras.
Same. And cops.
And cops to see if they're around.
Yep, I do too.
But
Not that it's a practice that I do, but if I'm like
But
in
there
a
have been
hurry, but
times-
there's times I've done
there
it.
have been times where I've just sat there and I'm like, why am I
Yup.
sitting here? I'm just
Yup.
sitting here because a stupid sign says
Yep.
no turn on red. That annoys me to no end. Okay. Another traffic thing. 25 mile per hour speed limit.
Even in neighborhoods with children?
Or those who have determined that is their personal speed limit
Oh.
when they're driving.
I feel like it's more the latter than the former.
You could be driving down. Okay, there's a street called Metcalf that I have to drive down a lot. It's right in my neighborhood, and it is a main artery.
It isn't
It takes you.
Yeah.
It takes you to every important interstate that you need to get to. Runs north and south of the city, and by golly, the freaking in a majority of the length of that street, the speed limit is 45. And you've got people cruising around at 20 miles an hour on that thing. And you're like, why?
Like, go.
What are you doing?
Get in the right lane.
Yeah. And it's such a heavily trafficked street.
It is
and
very,
it's so irritating to
always
me.
heavily trafficked.
I'm like, what are we doing? Take a side street. Go through the
Tell 'em.
neighborhoods that are 25 miles an hour. If
You
you
want to
really
go that
feel
slow, there's places that have it.
Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
Unnecessary sexual content in shows.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
Where it's like you're following the plot, you're following the plot,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, like, there's some weird sex scene that
and
happens
you're
out
like,
of nowhere.
what is even?
You're like, why did that need to happen? This also, I have found this in books too, where I'm like,
yeah.
this is completely unnecessary for the entire storyline
Makes
here.
nothing
What
to
are
do
we
with the
doing?
plot of the story.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree.
drives me nuts.
Agree.
I hate it. Okay. Small talk. I can do it. I'm good at it.
You are good at it.
Don't like it.
Meryl, if you're going to
actually-
talk to Meryl, go in with like a deep, heartfelt,
Yeah, if you really want to
if you really want to get her in a conversation, do not small talk her.
if you want
At all.
if you want my attention at all.
Yeah.
Don't start with small talk.
At
Well,
all.
you could.
But you better flip it quick.
Yeah. It was funny. We were actually, when we got here, Byron's wife's name is Susan. And I had said, when we got here, we were talking about what we were going to discuss here. And I go, I hate small talk. Like, I need to write that down. That's another thing that
That's
really
another
annoys
good
me.
one.
I'm not, like, I can do it and I'm good at it because, like, I have to do that for aspects of my job and stuff like that. But by and large, it's just
nope.
totally unappeasing to me. It's just, ugh. But she was like, I love small talk. I love it. She's like, wouldn't that be so weird if somebody tells you, like, oh, I had sex with so-and-so the other day?
And Meryl goes, no.
And I go, actually, if someone said that, I'd be like, wow, okay, tell me more. What do you want to discuss about it?
Meryl thrives. She loves.
Let's dig into it. What do you want to say about that?
Meryl goes, she opens up her purse. Fancy, I have a shovel here. Let's dig.
let's dig on into it. Yeah, so anyway, that was funny. Flies and mosquitoes.
Okay.
The common house fly and
Yep.
mosquitoes. Completely
Accurate.
useless. Oh, we'll throw fruit flies in there.
I hate
as
fruit
well.
flies.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
But I think that, those are just,
Well, fruit flies help break down fruit, right? So they do serve some purpose.
they will rot on their own.
That's true.
You don't need them.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to help
We
make
don't
things
need
make
'em.
sense.
We don't need them. Talking before 8 a.m. If I'm not already up, having a long, late night, deep conversation with you into 5 a.m. in the early morning hours. If I've been asleep for like 8 hours and then I wake up and I'm like going to the gym or something. Like, I'm an early morning person. Do not confuse that with being a morning person, because
Okay.
I like to get up early. I spend my time in the Word. Then I go to the gym. I don't talk to anyone usually until like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't speak anything. I can text, yes.
I
But-
feel like that's where we're.
Someone who tries to like engage in conversation. Hey, oh my God, how are you? You want to hear about it? It's too much stimulation for me. I don't like it.
See, and that's me in the morning, but at night, if somebody's like that and I'm tired, I'm like, pump the brakes. Like, I'll get to you tomorrow. Like, that's just polar opposite though. But I've always been that way my whole life.
Yeah.
Oh, my nose itches. right, guys.
I'm just going to say this, and I'm not going to say much else.
Okay.
I mean, because this is a lot of time. The iPhone superiority complex that plagues
This is a huge one.
a lot of people in the United States. I don't understand it. The rest of the world, like 80% of the world uses Android. And all I want to say to anyone that has been afflicted with the iPhone superiority complex is we don't want to fight with you. We are just confused about your passion
Like,
for
we just don't.
your phone.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay.
We're just confused.
Okay. That's okay.
We're concerned
You can
about
just
all
leave
of
it
you.
there. That's fine.
Thank you, Byron. Byron is also an Android user.
And I'm an iPhone user.
Mm.
But I don't feel like I have the superiority, though.
No, I mean, I've seen some reels and stuff where, like, people are like, he's a 10, but he has an Android. And people are, and the girls are like, oh, well, then he automatically becomes a 0. You must be broke if you don't.
I
have
would
an
say,
iPhone. If you have an
okay.
Android, you're broke and you suck. And it's like, Androids cost like a Samsung costs just as much as an iPhone anymore. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. No one's
I think
getting a
it's like-
cheaper deal with the phones.
To me, I'm like, well, can he pay his phone bill? That's what I'm looking at. Nah, I don't care what kind of phone he has. Are you paying your bills on time?
yeah, it's just such an ignorant thing to say, and it's like just so obscenely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I won't go into, well, I
Mm.
mean, I will say one thing. We usually get everything at least 2 or 3 years before iPhone people do
I will say that is true.
in terms of features. And you guys are like, oh, yay.
I would say that's true.
Look, I can customize my welcome screen when I unlock my phone. And you're like, I've been doing that forever, literally, since Android began. But okay, cool. I'm glad you guys can do that now. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just confused. It doesn't like offend me or anything.
Yeah.
But it's really strange when people come at me who have iPhones and they're like, so you guys just like think you're better than everyone? And I'm like, what? No. And then they like go on to talk about how much better their camera is and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay. Well, you just accused me of acting like I was better than everyone. I didn't say anything. And then you're going to go on and talk about why
you're gonna
the
go do the
iPhone's
same
better
thing.
than what I do. Well, okay. I don't get it. But I wish you all well. And yeah.
Like, and I'll text you and it'll be green.
Sorry. Holes in socks.
Yes. Good one. Get rid of the sock.
Yeah,
Toss it.
Just throw out the whole pair.
Or you can use it as a dust rag. That's what we did growing up. Like old socks, my mom would always use as a dust rag.
Yeah, put on the end of a little Swiffer.
Yeah.
Things that are off center.
Yes. Unless it's like a purposeful.
I often
Artistic.
when I was thinking of that, I often think about all the like reels of like sometimes there'll be, for some reason I get a lot of reels that come across my feed that are home inspections for like new construction and stuff, and then they'll just show you like all the weird things
Oh,
that happen,
I
and like
couldn't-
a lot of times it's stuff that's like off-centered or whatever, and you're like, what?
why would you do that?
Yeah, so something that doesn't, yeah, if you're like,
I get
that's
that.
not supposed to be like that. Usually, and that can be kind of applied to like anything where it's like, that doesn't look like it.
Look right.
It's not sitting right or
Right.
whatever. And I usually, if I can, will adjust it.
Yeah.
So that it is. And then, yeah, I think that wraps it up. It wraps it up for my list. You guys,
Wow.
I spoke for almost an hour straight.
Literally 59 minutes and 6 seconds.
Sweet mother. Pray for your girl. Because I got.
Let's pray for the man, whoever Maryl marries. Just kidding.
He loves me with all my flaws, I'm sure.
Yep. I'm betting that.
The Lord has brought me somebody he's
You're going to love him. You're going to
Yep.
love them all.
He's going to love it and hopefully find it endearing forever.
Forever and ever. Well, do you have any other thoughts about your...
Like I said, it's not an exhaustive
Yeah.
list. There's a lot of things that I'm like, that
if
doesn't
anybody
make
has
sense.
anything else that really annoys them, let us know.
Yeah, what
Tell
annoys
us.
you guys?
Put it
What
in
did
there.
What did I forget? What did
What?
I
'Cause
not
there
put
are
on that
some.
list that should be on there? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So write us
Either
back.
drop it in the comments.
DM us with it.
Slide into the DMs.
All the things.
I need to know.
We want to know.
I need to know because you know what? I kind of want to post it. So
I think you should.
hopefully we'll get some responses and
It'd be
we'll
awesome.
post them. Yeah. All right. Well,
All right, guys. I can't think of anything else. Feel like you got, 43 different things? What did we go through?
yeah, I think it was 43.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
An uneven number. Ooh, I didn't like that.
No, well, you did add. Remember, we added one.
That was true.
So 44.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. I think. Well,
We're going to go with it so you're not irritated. There's 44 things that irk Maryl Wilson.
Oh, I will think of one more.
Make it 45?
Whenever my string in my sweatpants gets twisted and I can't,
Yes,
like
I
the
hate
band,
that one.
the
Yep.
band in sweatpants when it gets twisted
Yep.
around,
And then you can't get it
can't
undone.
do anything in it with it. Yep, that drives me nuts. Okay,
Same.
there we go.
All right. We love you all. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.